finally get to sit up here with a smile. That's good. So, first,
you want to start these guys off with a statement on
yeah,
this historical victory?
just really proud of our team, in particular our senior class. As I told them in the locker room, it certainly doesn't make up for a tough season, but it's a great night. And it's a great night to be a Wildcat and Arizona Wildcat, and I'm proud. And I told the guys, make sure they hug all those seniors because they've really hung together and in a very difficult time and played really hard tonight. And this game was important to them, as I'm sure it's important to all of our fans. And like I said, it's doesn't make up for a tough season, but certainly to get the cup and to play well at home. I want to thank our fans. I thought the crowd was into it from the first play to the last play. They were loud and active and created a great atmosphere. And I know it's a rivalry game, but it's still. I'm very, very appreciative of that. And I got one of my former players from my first year, head coach Salem College, 30 years ago, Eric Alcard. He drove all the way over, 30-some hours to come watch it and brought me good luck, so we might have to get that RV cranked up next year too. So anyway, questions?
Rich, when you looked at the last 2 games for ASU, it seemed like most of the chunk plays had come against them in the past. How were you guys able to make it go in the run game against them tonight?
Well, it was, I told Coach McGee we've been doing this a long time. It kind of reminded us of some of the old days we had when Pat White, Steve Slayton, Loman Schmidt and guys up front were doing a good job recognizing, because they brought a lot of different blitzes from the field, from the boundary, different stuff, and our guys did a great job. Our coaching staff did a good job getting them ready, and they did a good job blocking. And Samaje was phenomenal, and it's just a few weeks at running back, particularly on some of the outside zones where he stuck his foot in the ground and got north. Zach Green's never run that far in his life without passing out. It was great. And then Brandon Dawkins was terrific. When you have a quarterback that can run like him, as a willing runner, it gives you a whole different dimension. And probably, again, watching the film, we blocked pretty well up front, of course, but I thought our perimeter blocking was really good. Our wide receivers were a really unselfish group. To only throw as few times as we did and to run for 500, those guys got to be unselfish, and they were.
Can you talk about Brandon Dawkins' first touchdown and how important it was to come out with a fast start?
Yeah, it's the one thing you always worry about as a defensive coach. You play man coverage. If that quarterback's a runner and a willing runner and can go, even if you put a linebacker to spy him, sometimes that guy's faster than him. And Brandon is he's sneaky fast. He's got those long strides, and once he gets going, he get up the field. So, and he saw things well. Again, we were going to call more pass plays and really anticipated having to call a lot more deep shots because of the pressure and coverage they were going. But when you bring that pressure and you can break through the line and make a few cuts like both Samaje and Zach did and Brandon, it can lead to some big plays.
Did you get the sense in the second half that you'd kind of broken their spirit a little bit with some of
I was like, I wasn't comfortable until we took a knee. Our student section is fantastic. When they were saying that, hey, goodbye stuff, like 7 minutes to go, it kind of ticked me off. I'm like, hey, I'm not comfortable till we take a knee. And even then, I'm still a little nervous. So, but I think they were just excited, they're excited to see us finally play well and put something together for 4 quarters. And then we were hanging on defensively. Our safety group, Coach Adai, was just scrambling because we were down a couple safeties early and then down a couple more safeties late, and it was just like, holy cow, what are we going to put in there?
Which would you like about Marcel's game plan to take away that outside pass that they were trying?
Well, they hit a few bubble screens, and we knew they were going to throw. They threw a bunch, and they were very patient with it. They got a lot of yards, and I think we triggered early better and got them on the ground some. But, what I was more worried about was they're big up front and they're big tailbacks, and they would run downhill at us. And when we were able to stop some of that inside run, and the biggest key defensively was the 4th down stops. I think there were 3 of them, at least 3 4th down stops, maybe more than that, 4th and short. And so that got a couple turnovers and got good field position. And it's amazing when you get decent field position what it can do for your offense.
Do you think Larry Tharp is a kid that can be in? We've seen him over the last few weeks.
Yeah, what a story, huh? I mean, unrecruited. I watched him on film. And he's a walk-on at a junior college somewhere, and like, who's this guy? He might be good enough to help us out, at least on the scout team. And then he's worked his tail off. So a year in the off-season program, he's going to be a pretty good player. And our guys will enjoy tonight, but the off-season program still starts on Monday for the returners. So have a good time the next few days, but Monday we get back to work.
What is your personal agenda for the next week or so?
Well, as soon as I get out of here and have a nice cold refreshment, we're going to head up the road to watch old Junior. I'm going to head up the road tonight and watch Junior play and hopefully win a state championship at 10 a.m. And then when that game is over, I'm on the road recruiting. The whole staff will be on the road starting tomorrow. We got 2 weeks on the road and then a week in the office before the holidays.
Is there a part of you that looks at this game and goes, gosh, why couldn't we have done this more often this year?
Yes. I think some of it is good fortune. You know, you're not really, and then you start wondering, you know, we fumble, we were really coming out well, and then we fumble and let them tie, and like we had all the momentum, and you're like, oh boy. You know, the doom and gloom thing can easily set in, but it didn't set in tonight at all, at any time, and we're capable of being pretty good. But that's, again, this doesn't erase what was a tough year for us. But with what's going on recruiting and what we have with our younger players, we're going to be okay. We're going to be better than okay. I think sometimes you got to get down in the bottom and bounce back up. We're down there now, but we'll bounce back up.
Coach, did you sense anything different with the team this week leading into the game, or was this
That's just it. I've said that for weeks. That our practices and the guys' attentiveness has been great. Now this is a rivalry game, so it's not hard to get fired up for either team to get jacked up about it. But you know, I was proud of the way. It was a shorter week, you know, coming back late and getting ready. But the guys were dialed in and had good practices. And again, I think I could sense an energy in the crowd. I think we've got great fans. You know, and it's funny because we go through the Wildcat walk, and always a little nervous when you're losing. You're like, you know, and people could say something nasty, or you're like, you know, come on, coach, you suck, or something, you know. And I mean, they've been as positive throughout the whole season as you can imagine. That is not like that everywhere. And I think it really lifts our guys' spirits. It was the Wildcat walk today, this before the game was packed. You know, they were into it. You know, I think it gives our guys a lift, and I just again like to thank our fans for hanging. And I'm gonna tell them hang in there because, you know, there's some special things that'll happen.
What will you remember this senior class for?
The biggest thing is for the adversity. What they've done when they first got here. There were some of them that first got here that we didn't even, you know, recruit, but they were already committed and they hung in there with us. And then the adversity that they had throughout this year, beginning with Zach's passing in August, and you know, hanging in there during the season. There was and I told him this last night when we met. There wasn't a single guy in our program, and especially those seniors, that ever pointed a finger or ever got down or ever doubted, you know, their role in the program or anything like that. So, like I said, it was just one night, but they deserve to be happy tonight, and I'm proud of them.
Did you happen to see that Brandon tackled Miss Arizona at the end of one of his runs there on the sideline?
You know, Matt, you say that when I looked at because I was looking at the replay, I saw he did, but he was kind, I think, and didn't he help her up? At least I hope he did. You know, you got to be a gentleman at all times. It's, you know, even if you're in a gladiator outfit, I guess. But yeah, she made a nice tackle.
Any more questions for Coach?
Thanks, folks. Appreciate you.